officially cut the cake for the beginning of a new journey for AUCB. Whip, 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 whip. Whip, 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 whip. Please, the rest of you can join your hands too. Is it real or real?
Some guy, there's no one about. Whatever you say, you do it, you do it.
A lot of studies are going on. A lot of researches, scholarly material are all ready now. Now anthropologists have just found out, archaeologists have found out from Egypt, Egyptians were black. At some point, those who came to rule, the Europeans said they were not black, they were white. Today, as I'm speaking, archaeologists have found out the baobab tree is a very powerful African heritage. It has got a lot of medicinal properties. It's got strength. It's probably the strongest tree that you can find on the continent. It's steady. The baobab tree in most communities was where Africans met and told stories. So the baobab tree is so significant symbolically. When we came here, there was no space to grow a baobab.
IJC, AUCC, and now AUCB boast of award-winning professionals. Our media industry is full of them. GJA, every year, you can't count the number of students or professionals who get awards because they came through the system. So founder, thank you very much for this vision. And he is a man who still keeps dreaming at his age. I would think by now he should relax and let us dream. But he dreams and tells us the dream to go and implement. This is just phase one of the launch, and we have some things in focus. We need to grow and grow smart and wisely. We need to expand again well. We need to diversify. We need to build stronger relationships. We need quality education, quality service, and excellence in education. Now, all of this will be done within the framework of Pan-African orientation, because this is the true African university that you can get anywhere in our region. And so we have to walk the talk. And so everything that we're going to be doing is going to be guided within the African framework. So speaking of that, one of the things that we are going to immediately implement is that all our students, because we take a lot of African and diaspora studies courses, we are going to ensure that every student that goes through in the graduate program gets a certificate, a minor certificate in African and diaspora studies. So not only are you graduating with your BSc in business, for example, you also get something that shows that indeed you are an African, you are a true African, and you are studied African, so that you can go and live with that as well and showcase the world that it's doable. Which means we are not there yet. We are not excellent. We are striving to be there. So we all have a role to play. Faculty, students, staff, alumni, community, churches, all of that. We all have a role to play. So one of the areas we are looking at in the future is growth in our programs. We are going to be very, very strategic about the programs that we are going to be offering. We've started already reviewing and analyzing, but especially the new ones that are coming, especially for you, the undergraduate students. All of you will have to enroll in our graduate program, because this is the uniqueness of the program. We are going to infuse technology in there, so you see AI, machine learning, and all of this in most of the courses that you will take. So if you're journalism, for example, you have to learn how to use AI to practice your journalism. That's the future of the world, all right? So there are so many things that are coming. So technology in there, in demand, industry relevant, and society relevant. Because here we want to make all learning practical and applicable. so that when you leave here, you can solve Ghana's problems and some of the global problems as well. So you see that we've even started modifying the level 400 project, where you don't write thesis anymore. You have to do a project and come and defend the project that you've done with the team. And then we showcase it to the world. So this is what is coming. So we are looking at programs like MSc in Digital Communication and Data Analytics, Digital Communication and Social Media Management, PR, Digital Communication, Multimedia stuff, AI, and those kind of stuff. So, but again, we will communicate all of this to you, all right, so that you make those choices and you help us market those programs, because we believe that the future of especially you, the younger ones, is in the AI industry, machine learning, data science, and things like that. So we're going to combine our... Now, one exciting area that we are building on is also with our African and Pan-Africanism. And as I'm going to link it to the creative arts industry. As we know, in our part of the world, we are Africans, but when you talk about knowledge about Africa, it resides in the West, and it's distorted. It's totally distorted, and our founder always talks about that. So here we have started to make it right, write our own history. So we are teaming with so many creative people in that field to do that. One of it is we are now established postgraduate diploma. We have established degree programs in African and African diaspora studies. We are hoping to link this even with the tourism industry, so that when our brothers and sisters in the diaspora from African America and the Caribbean come, they just don't come and visit the slave castles and go back. They have to come to AUCC for at least AUC. Thank you for reminding me. It's going to take a while, but they have to come here at least a week or two, get into deep discussion, deep debriefing, deep, about the experience. What does it mean for you and for us, and how can we move from this Eurocentric thinking? And then this is what they're excited about it. We do a big graduation for them, and then we give them certificates. So we are going to start that conversation. We've already started here. And so because that's a vacuum that is not, why would somebody come and just go to Safe Castle and just go back? It doesn't make sense. Let's engage. And so they are very receptive of that, because we are privileged enough to have partnered with HAEC, Higher Education Coalition in the US, and they are a consortium of about 15 historically black colleges and universities. We are partners with them. So we want to harness that strength to engage in this, so they can also take some of our courses. So again, as a university, we can't only, we have to act entrepreneurship, because we teach entrepreneurship. So we ourselves have to model that. So we are exploring avenues for making or diversify our income sources, all right, so that we don't have to dump everything on the students for fees. It's ongoing. We've actually looked at a few facilities around. One of the areas that we are very excited about, for example, all of you know, the undergraduate, one of the headache when you come to us is, do you have a hostel? And we say, we don't. And then you say, okay, all right. So the good news is that very soon we will launch. Yeah, we will showcase our hostel to you. We're not going to tell you where it is for now. But I'm telling you, very, very, very soon, we'll show you the AUCB hostel. All right, we've partnered with Lindsay Holdings, and we have built the almost complete 5-story building that will host at least the first hostel that we will have here as AUCB. So I think that's a yay effort for the students, yes. So we are working on that, and very soon it will be done. We also have, of course, extensive plans for expansion of our facilities, especially also looking towards Winneba area, and expansion not only physically but also virtually. So as we speak, we have built a partnership with the University of Lagos, which is one of the biggest universities and prestigious universities in Nigeria. Right? We have actually some of our staff there understudying some of their programs. We've sent them there. Some are even on study tour that made that scholarship work. So as we speak here, AUCC sponsors scholarships for students, needy students in Adabraka. That it was his push. And so we are proud to partner with you to do that. And they come here for free, right? Nothing, no penny, but it's because of that. So we are very grateful. We also have to partner with professional organizations. As we speak, we are strengthening our relationship with the ICA, for example, Institute of Chartered Accountants, Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management in Ghana, Institute of Project Management Professionals, Institute of Public Relations Professionals. So we have partnered with all of these, and very soon you'll see all of them on campus so that we'll sit down together and chat. Now, we not only partner in relationships like that, they also review our courses, and then we make sure that our students take courses that would count towards their professional certification. So if you take some of our courses here, by the time you finish, you may have already satisfied level 1 or 2 or 3 of the charter, your professional charter requirements. So that is a plus. And so we are working with them to get all of that. And we are very, very excited. Crash, right? Daycare on campus, because some of our graduate students are mothers, and they need a place to bring their children. And so we are looking.
Our prayer is that we will ask management to give us all the necessary support as we are ready to move this institution from where it is now to a better future. Friends, as you are in school here, we want to assure you that we were once at where you are now. And so if you are here today, it is very possible that you can also be here. I stand here as a president. I can proudly say I'm a legal practitioner, I'm a doctor, and have done all that I did. It's because of AUCC. My vice president, he's done a lot for community. It's because of AUCC. My communications director is making so big in her area of endeavor. It's because of AUCC. And I have my general secretary here, and all the people who are serving on board. It's because of AUCC. So have confidence in AUCC, because it is possible to be who you want to be. Once again, thank you for the attention, and we are ready to come on board to push the agenda.
More than 3 years ago, when I was contemplating moving to Ghana from my home country, the then AUCC was introduced to me. I went through the website. I saw that the university was the first one in Africa with communications as its flagship program. I decided I would come here. As an academic and a retired broadcaster, I thought I would pursue further research in this area, and I made up my mind to come. I have not regretted that decision.
We are gathered here today to appropriately celebrate as we fling ourselves in an overwhelming wonder of joy. Our heartiest congratulations and fulsome thanks also go to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Abeku Blanson, the Registrar, Dr. Juliana Owusu-Ansah, and the Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dr. Kemi Wale Olaitin, and the other members of the AUCC administration whose dedicated hard work, resolute energy, and inimitable resourcefulness have made it possible for AUCC to become a well-rounded university, African University of Communications and Business, AUCB. It is my confident and delightful expectation that the hard work and the earnest strive for consistent excellence that have characterized the history of this great institution will continue to deftly propel the African University Communications and Business to the pinnacle of academic achievement. And I offer my heartiest and solemn congratulations to the African University of Communications of Business, its staff and students. Long live AUCB Professor Kofi Esari. Today we witness the transformation of our beloved institution from the African University College of Communication, AUCC, to the African University of Communication and Business, AUCB. A name that reflects our new heights of excellence, innovation, and global competitiveness. But what does this mean to us, the students? What is the role of the SRC in this post-charter era? One is advocacy and representation. The SRC will continue to be the voice of students, ensuring that this transition brings real benefits, and I repeat, real benefits, better facilities, enhanced academic programs, and greater opportunity for all. We are not just spectators, we are the active participants in shaping the future of AUCB. Bridging the gap between leadership and students. We will work closely with the administration to make sure the policies are student-centered. Change is here, but we must ensure it translates into tangible improvement in students' lives, from academic support to welfare services. 3. Promoting innovation and entrepreneurship. With the inclusion of business in our name, we have a responsibility to foster an entrepreneurial spirit among students. The SRC will champion initiatives that empower students to develop skills, launch businesses, and create networks that extend beyond the classroom. 4. Upholding the AUCB brand. As students, we are the face of this university. The way we conduct ourselves, our academic excellence, and our achievements will define the legacy of AUCB. The SRC will lead by example, promoting discipline, integrity, and a culture of excellence. As we celebrate this milestone, let us remember that the real work begins now. The SRC is ready to stand at the forefront, ensuring that every student experiences the full potential of this transition. AUCB is not just a name, it's a commitment to greatness, and together we will make history.
About 2-3 years ago, we decided to transform our education to more of an experiential learning, all right, community-based learning and application of thought. So currently, some of our courses combine theory and practice. So you have to learn the theory of it and then put it in practice. All right, our branding course, for example, is a perfect one. They do exhibitions here to showcase students who have actually developed a product and branded it. And all right, and the minister, I would plead with the minister to consider the role that private universities play in human development in this country. Yeah. And then give us the necessary attention and support. That's my plea to the ministry. Support for first-year students in the universities. The focus, according to what I've seen, is only on public universities. There are first-year students in the private universities that are on the same. So my plea to them is to also consider these students who are also coming through the private university route. We are in the same educational landscape. So I would ask the government, the minister, as they are developing the policy and implementing it, to really be considerate of those students who choose to go to private universities. All right, and I think that's a very important. Otherwise, the impact on the private enrollment could be very disastrous.
Why was the gown introduced? Look at our weather. I mean, seriously. Which country recently threw away the gowns worn by, the wigs worn by judges and lawyers? Why should we be wearing them? What's your identity? To discover yourself from here is knowing who you are as an African. We had African philosophers. Why don't we teach African philosophy in our universities? Even University of Ghana, we had great philosophers. But they are afraid to make them, come up to compete with European philosophy. No. So we are going to do more. That if education does not solve a country's problems, then the education is useless. So we should pay more attention to practical application of knowledge to solving problems, like he explained. It's only an example that we should not just be interested. There are too many interests in titles, which is good. But what are you doing with the titles? I indicated there that we have a lot of raw materials in Ghana. Our educational system doesn't teach us anything. We rather learn about other people, but ourselves we don't. So the education ministry should be more African-centered. They should give policies that are African-centered. We in Ghana know very little about other countries on the continent. And this we can do through our education. If you put a map of Africa here and you ask people to show you where Congo is, even those of you who are studying, it will be a tough one because we didn't learn. The Chinese starts learning about Africa and he knows everything about the raw materials we have. That's why when they come, they go straight to the mining areas. So it should be Afrocentric. That's all I can say. That the Ministry of Education should have a policy to let education reflect who we are and where we are going. In Asia, they rely on their history, their culture to develop. We are not using our culture to develop. Even look at what happened in Parliament a few days ago. Somebody represented a constituency, wants to speak in their own language, and it's like Parliament is a place you have to speak English. In India, there are more than 150 languages. But go to their Parliament or Congress or Knesset, and they translate. They have translation facilities because people should express themselves. Sometimes it's as if our cameras are afraid of local languages. So when we go to functions, we only want to record people who are speaking English. The chief, who is elected by his people, wants to speak in his own language because we, the media, are dictating the pace, speak English. And then we laugh at them when they don't speak the Queen's English. See, these are deficiencies in our system that should be addressed by a policy. If we don't, then we are just leaving everybody to do what they want, and it will not advance the future of this country.
The Pan-African Heritage Museum has become an important component of those that will be working in collaboration with AUCB so that we will keep harping on telling our own stories and telling our own stories from each person's vantage point. They have already indicated that we have to know who we are first before we step out of the bounded spaces of our homes. Otherwise, you will always fall victim to becoming like somebody else. It is that inability on our part that has made us become those that are mimicking what other people stand for. So first is self-knowledge. Two is understanding your own environment, your history, your culture. Then you can really interact with the world on your own.
Of core is to send a message there. And look, we are now a full-fledged university When that is done, we have three main areas that as alumni we want to tackle. First of all, we want to establish that scholarship scheme for students who are brilliant. Even if you are not brilliant, but you are making some form of effort, we want to support you financially, all right? The second one, we want to establish that mentorship program where we will come back, we will liaise with management of the school, we'll come back, have programs like seminars, or whichever way that we will be able to tell the story. Because a lot of my people are in the industry and they are not just doing theory, but practically they are working, and will be able to give back to our society what they have made us to be. And the third one is where we are going to network among ourselves, because even though we are alumni, we have levels, we have degrees of levels, you know. We have some who are there, some who are in the middle, some the bottom there. So one of the things we seek to do is those of us probably who might be up there, we want to see what we can do to raise the bar so that at least you don't have people who will be depending on others. So we have a lot of things for alumni and the current student body.